Hello, beautiful soul. Boy, have I got a juicy topic for you today, and this is an ethical can of worms. I'm so excited to share this information and this discussion with you and open up this topic for you if you don't already think about things so consciously, or if you're vegan already, like whatever your situation. This is just a little discussion, really, an open discussion, so feel free to comment, and I'm just asking questions and broadening your awareness and just sharing some information that I know, some wisdom that I know, and some things that I feel. And this is all in the hopes of raising awareness, raising our vibration, and opening up discussion. So here goes. I am doing this video in response to a guy called Joey Carbstrong, who I've recently discovered online. And for any of you who watch my videos, you know that I'm vegan, and this is becoming a massive part of my life and my message in the world. And basically the situation is, I commented on one of Joey's videos and we ended up having this massive discussion, and as you can see by the title of the video, it is an ethical can of worms that has been opened, I feel. And it's something that I feel is time to speak about, and it's not spoken about enough, and there's lots of different layers to it, and it branches off into all different areas, and it's going to be hard to condense this down into a small video, so apologies if this goes on for a while, but I feel like this is really important. So the reason why I actually commented on Joey's video is because there's two separate topics of conversation here. There's two reasons why I commented. One was about organic versus non-organic fruits and vegetables, plant food, and the other comment was about ethics, I guess, and also about what you're contributing to and where you're spending your money and what companies you're putting your money into. And this is a big old rabbit hole, and I was saying to Joey, this is more like a rabbit warren, because this is a really vast topic, and it just depends on you as a person and what you are able to do and what you're capable and what you're aware of. So I'm going to go and speak about topic number one, which is organic versus non-organic produce. As I am a certified herbalist and a naturopath, and I studied naturopathic nutrition and herbal medicine for 5 years in London, and I did a lot of research into organic versus non-organic produce, and there's different layers to this. So I personally feel, and I think anybody in their right mind knows, that organic is better for you, and organic is better for the environment, and it's better in general. But not many people know why that is. Not many people understand why is organic better for you. There's a few reasons. I've done a video on this before, organic versus non-organic, but basically there's not just vitamins and minerals inside plants. There's things called phytochemicals, and that is the medicine within plants that is really beneficial to humans. That's the other things within the plants that fight disease. So basically, plants produce phytochemicals in order to defend themselves. So that's what the phytochemicals are there for. It's when the plant is grown organic, they're producing lots of phytochemicals because they're basically fending for themselves. They're not being as wrapped in cotton wool as they would if it was non-organic. And, you know, if there's bugs and things coming to attack it, it's producing these phytochemicals. Like, often plants can produce smells or tastes so that the bugs don't want to eat them, and some of them will produce phytochemicals like stinging nettles, for instance, in their sting. Like, that's all phytochemicals that help the plants to defend themselves. When you're growing something organically, it doesn't have to when you're growing something non-organically, the plant doesn't have to defend itself, so there's not as many phytochemicals inside the plant. Those things are the things that I use as a herbalist in my herbal remedies. They're phytochemicals, and they are the active ingredients within plants that help humans, they work in harmony with our body. Like, everything we need is in Mama Earth, on Mama Earth, and basically they work in harmony with our body. Like, it's an organic substance that we can metabolize and filter really efficiently, and these herbal, like these plant phytochemicals, help us to fight off disease. It helps us to give to prevent free radical damage, and it helps us to be healthy and function at our optimum. I understand that there is such thing as like a purist mentality, and I do feel like this is quite dangerous. I know people can take it too far and they end up not eating because they feel like everything's not pure and it's bad for them, and that's just not true. And Joey actually linked Dr. Greger's nutritionalfacts.org's video about pesticides and things like that, but I don't know whether he's actually watched this video properly, because in this video Dr. Greger is still saying that there are risks by consuming non-organic fruits and vegetables, and he's still saying that it is better for you to have organic, but he's only looking at that from a health perspective, so within your body. And I'm saying there's more to it than that. It's not just about your health, although that is one level of it. There's another level to this as well. It's about the fact that non-organic farmers use fossil fuels in order to spray and treat their crops. And this isn't sustainable or eco-friendly for the planet. And if you're vegan, that's one of the reasons you're vegan, is because you care about the planet. I'm pretty sure about that. So, you know, if you're putting your money towards non-organic, and I'm putting my hands up, I'm not saying I'm completely perfect. Sometimes I buy non-organic, but I'm just opening this can of worms so that we can have this conversation. But basically, if you're buying non-organic, then you are contributing to that. And also the fact that these pesticides and things are going into the soil, and it's contaminating our water system as well. And there's so many debates online about organic versus non-organic, but the fact of the matter is, if you're tampering with nature, that can't be a good thing. Personally, for me, I can feel the energy. Like, if you go to an organic plantation or whatever, and you feel the vibe of the plants compared to a non-organic one, where it's just like this uniform, every single one is exactly the same, they've just been cloned, they've just been bred that way, the vital force just isn't there. It's a really sad environment. It's really sad. On an energetic level, I'm an energy healer, and so it's part of my life that I feel energy, and I can sense energies and vitality and vital force. And on an energetic level, the non-organic produce is not vibrating so high as the organic. But whether you believe that or not, the other side of it is the phytochemicals. So that's a couple of sides of the whole organic versus non-organic. But another side of it is also the fact that a lot of the non-organic produce is made from genetically modified seeds. And genetically modified seeds can actually have bits of freaking animals in it. Like, I'm going to link a video down below of an 11-year-old boy doing a TED talk about this, and he says about how they can genetically modify a tomato with, you know, DNA and things from a fish. So is that really vegan? You know, and how do you know? Like, I think it's like 80% or something of the stuff that you get in the supermarkets in the UK, non-organic produce in the UK, like 80% of it in the supermarkets is from genetically modified seeds now. And these seeds have been completely tampered with before they're even planted, with chemicals and hormones and things that are going to stop bugs being able to get to it. Effectively, that's what it is, and it will just kill the bugs instantly. And you're putting that in your body, and you think that's not going to have an effect on you? There's been studies after studies after studies to prove that basically genetically modified food is detrimental to your liver, and it can cause reproductive issues, especially in females. I researched extensively into some studies that were performed on mice over 3 generations, and within 3 generations of eating the genetically modified produce, the mice were infertile. And there has been a huge rise in female reproductive issues. And I just think that there has to be a link between that, and that there's more to it than just how many vitamins you're getting or how many carbs you're getting. But at the same time, I completely agree that it's obviously better to eat non-organic fruit than it is to be eating meat. And that's proven. And you can watch Dr. Greger's video, nutritionalfacts.org's video about that as well. And I agree with that. And if you are vegan, and especially if you're high carb vegan, then yeah, you need to get your calories and you need to eat fruit. And even if you're not, you need to eat fruit. So it's better to eat non-organic fruit than to not eat it. Duh. Obviously, I was never saying that's not true. I was just saying that there's reasons why organic is better. And we need to start promoting that, because we need to start shopping more locally. Like, supermarkets it's destroying the planet and it's not sustainable. So we do need to start promoting organic over non-organic and actually get real about that, in my opinion. Not just for your calories and not just because you're being purist, but because of your health and because of sustainability. So that's my organic versus non-organic argument. Nutritional facts, you know, Dr. Greger's gonna want people to eat, is gonna try and help people to eat fruit than not eat fruit, but he hasn't addressed all the issues in the video. Okay, secondly, there is the whole ethical can of worms that I was speaking about at the beginning of this video. So basically, I got triggered watching Joey's videos because he uses Cadbury's drinking chocolate in his smoothies and on his food and everything. And I have researched Cadbury's, Nestle, Coke, Pepsi, all those companies extensively, and they are evil, and they don't give a flying, you know, about your health. All they care about is making money, and they are not producing vegan products because they care. They're producing them to make money, and they are not healthy products. On the back of Cadbury's drinking chocolate, it says flavorings. If you go and watch Food Babe's video about what flavorings can actually mean, it could potentially mean that there is the anal glands of a beaver in that drink. And it could potentially mean really harmful chemicals. They lace their food with chemicals to create a bliss point. And they test this on children in big places in America. And if you read the book Salt, Sugar, Fat, and How the Food Giants Got Us Hooked, then you'll understand the extent of what I'm speaking about here and how clever and manipulative these companies are. Not to mention the fact that Cadbury's, on the whole, uses factory farmed dairy cows to produce their milk in most of their products. Their dairy milk chocolate, that's what they're known for. As a vegan, is it actually vegan to be putting your money energy towards a company like that? I don't know. I don't think it is. On the other hand, I can see that it's a good thing that it's making veganism more accessible to the masses. You know, a lot of people are so opposed to being vegan, but if these big companies in the mainstream start creating vegan products, then maybe it will open it up for people. I completely agree, but I'm just saying, if you have this awareness, then you get to choose. And I know it's like, how far do you take it? I shop in a supermarket, and the supermarket produces meat products, it produces dairy products, but when I'm in that supermarket, I will choose the products that are the most ethical as I possibly can, and I will try to always choose organic if I can. Is going to McDonald's and eating a salad and saying, oh well, you know, it's okay because it's a salad. But is it okay because you're putting your buck towards that company that is perpetuating this problem on the planet? And it's the same for what products you buy, and I guess it is the same for where you choose to go and eat out for dinner. Like, ideally I would only eat in vegan restaurants, but you know, I think there's levels to it. It's about where you spend your money and what you're contributing to and what you want to see in the world. And if you want to give your money to companies like that, then then that's not sustainable, that's not ethical, and that isn't good for the planet. And Joey, you said to me that all companies are there to make money. Yeah, you're right. All companies are there to make money, but there are companies that do actually give a shit. And yes, they make money off the back of giving a shit. So what's better? Do you want to put your money towards a company that really, truly doesn't care at all, and you can clearly see that on every level? Or do you want to give your dollar to a company that does give a shit and who is actually trying to do good in the world? I mean, what the hell are Cadbury's doing? Nothing. You can spend that however much it was for your chocolate drink on some raw cacao powder from a health food store. There's not a huge difference in price, and I would say that the extra however much it is worth it, considering what you'll gain from that on every level and what you're actually putting out in the world to what you get back. But yeah, like I said, I'm on this journey as well, and how far do you take it? I was talking to my friend Ruth about this because, she's not vegan, and she doesn't think veganism is the only way to create change on the planet, and she hasn't looked into it as extensively as me, but she has looked into the whole plastic thing, and she would never put plastic in the bin. She would always recycle it and stuff like that. And sometimes I put plastic in the bin, and to her that's the worst thing in the world. And it just depends what you're educated on. It depends how aware you are and how much you're educated on something, and also about what's important to you. And everybody is different, and to me, I got triggered by the whole Cadbury's drink. But the other thing is, I live in the UK, and I am not high carb raw vegan or even high carb vegan. I'm not. I've never had a problem with my weight. I've never felt I have to lose weight. I've always been naturally slim, and I've never really, a lot of people that go onto the high carb vegan lifestyle, it is because they want to lose weight, and they've got this thing around weight, and that's great. If you used to binge on shit, then definitely go and binge on fruit and vegetables. That's way better for you than binging on junk food, right? Of course. And I can see that it is a really good lifestyle. And if I was living in a warmer climate and that the stuff was grown in that country, then I would probably be high carb vegan as well. But I am not high carb, so I don't mind having, I'm not raw, so I don't mind having cooked food. I don't mind having, nuts, seeds, beans, pulses, grains, obviously, avocados, fats. I don't have a problem with that at all, and I find that my body functions really well like that. And I have tried doing raw before, and I cannot do it in the winter. My body craves that warm food. I like having soups and things like that. And if I was living in a hotter country where the fruit was grown and it was more sustainable, because everything's imported to the UK, so I have an issue with that as well. So for me, I'm not trying to pack in the calories, because I'm getting enough calories from other foods, not just high carb foods, not just fruit. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure in the vegan community to be high carb, and I'm not high carb. And so for me, calories, I don't know, counting calories isn't as much of an issue to me. I have to admit, I do notice in the summer, if I do go raw, that I do have loads more energy. But to be honest, I've mentioned this before, in Indian medicine, there's 3 doshas, and they're your constitutions, and I'm very vata, and if I don't have that earthy root vegetables and cooked food, then I can feel really spaced out and just way too high, and up here, and these chakras up here, and I'm not rooted or grounded. And I personally find that that's not good for me. So yeah, I am not high carb vegan, so like packing in the calories from fruit isn't really an issue to me. But if that is an issue for you, then yeah, by all means, if you can't afford organic, then have non-organic, because that's going to be better for you. I never said that it wasn't. I was just saying that if you think about it, organic is the best, and if you can afford it, and if you're on YouTube, then we should be promoting that a bit more. If you live in a hot country where you've got local farmers producing like fruits and vegetables, then I think it's important to be shopping at those places and not in supermarkets if you can help it. When I lived near a village that had a organic local shop, I used to go and get everything from there as much as I possibly could. And I feel like that is important because, you know, I think it's important to start helping people to grow their own things as much as they can as well. And, you know, Joey was saying to me, okay, so what about where you buy your clothes and stuff like that? And yeah, I'll ask you this then, Joey. Would you buy your clothes from a company that sells fur? I wouldn't. And would, you know, but how far do you take it? That's the thing. How far do you take it? I feel you can only do what you can do in the moment. You can only do what feels right to you. You can only have the amount of awareness that you're educated to. And, you know, you could, you know, if you are going to take it all the way down the rabbit hole, then you would probably end up in an intentional community. And this is what my friend and I were talking about, because she's about to go to New Zealand and go and stay in this intentional community where they probably brush their teeth with sticks and like wooden toothbrushes and stuff. And I know people that have wooden toothbrushes, and I have a wooden hairbrush, and like people think I'm a right hippie because of it. But it's like, how far do you take it? And I just think like the more you educate yourself, the more you realize how messed up everything is, and that, you know, you don't want to feel guilty about things. Like, I don't think that's useful, but just try your best, and your best is good enough. And I just think now you're aware of these things, you make your own choice. You make your own choice about what's important to you and what you feel is best and what you feel is ethical and healthy for you. And that's all you can do. And also, Joey, you mentioned about how you couldn't be with somebody who wasn't vegan. And, you know, that's your standard. Whereas my boyfriend isn't vegan. And to me, I love humans, like I love my boyfriend more than I love the animals that he is contributing to the suffering of. I love him more than the animals, and you might judge me on that. We all have our standards, and they're all different for everybody. So, but this is a really interesting conversation. I know that a lot of my friends who are not vegan and who don't really understand conscious living or conscious consuming or ethical living are probably going to think this is really, really extreme. But I just want to put this out there and help people to start thinking about what they're contributing to, because this isn't extreme. And even a hippie in an intentional community using a wooden stick to brush their teeth, maybe that isn't extreme for them. Maybe they think that what we're doing is extreme. You know, we're destroying the planet, we're poisoning our water, we're torturing animals, we are being manipulated by huge corporations. So what's more extreme? To live in harmony with nature as nature intended, and to live as ethically as you can with compassion, or to contribute to hell on earth. Like, my opinion is we're working towards heaven on earth, and most vegans have got this ethical side to them and they want heaven on earth. So if you are a vegan and you want heaven on earth, then try and contribute to companies that are ethical as much as you can, and try to buy organic as much as you can, because there's bigger reasons as to why those things are important. So I hope this was of interest to you. Sorry if it was a bit long and a bit of a rant. I think Joey and myself are going to be doing a little collaboration about this, and I'd love your opinions on what I've said, and just be nice in your opinions. Like, I'm not a horrible person at all. I'm not trying to make anyone feel guilty or bad. I'm not trying to like criticize. I'm just questioning, just opening up the topic, and I'm on this journey as well, and I put my hands up and say I'm not perfect, and I think it's impossible to be perfect. to be quite frank. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a healthy day and remember to keep it juicy.